How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store has kicked off its Mega March sale, and I see a lot of people actually very happy about this sale. Obviously, you got the usual people being like, I own every game that's on sale, and obviously I can't cover every game that gets discounted and whatnot, but there are some really notable deals as far as just good value pickups, and got some deals under the price of $5. We're gonna have some of the usual mentions, and then also at the end we have some lower key games that I do want to mention. We'll be covering some lesser known titles. Just give me a minute to go through the entirety of the sale. There's a lot of deals, so just keep that in mind. Give me some time. I've been trying to weave in games that you guys haven't heard about and games that look interesting to me, so on and so forth. It's a work in progress, so I just ask for a little bit of time as we do all of our other regular videos as well. But with that being said, let's get right into it. And it wouldn't be an under $5 video, especially if Jedi Fallen Order is under $5. It's $3.99 right now, which is, I believe, matching the historic low for the game. But $3.99 for Jedi Fallen Order is awesome. Look, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't want to say whatsoever. Like, I've watched some of the movies and whatnot. I watched Rogue One and literally fell asleep in the theater. That was the first Star Wars movie that I actually watched, and I think that's hilarious. But nevertheless, I played Jedi Fallen Order without, outside of falling asleep, you know, watching Rogue One, ever watching a Star Wars movie from start to finish, and I ended up really enjoying Jedi Fallen Order. I thought Cal was a great character. I thought the gameplay was great. I did think the map design was absolutely an abomination. Like, it was legitimately an atrocity, and they do fix that in Jedi Survivor, so that was great. But for $3.99, man, I think Jedi Fallen Order is a great pickup, and definitely would recommend it at this price point. Even if, again, you're not a Star Wars fan, you're gonna have a pretty good time with that for sure. Next up, Resident Evil 5, 75% off for $4.99. Now, you might be of the mindset that you're gonna wait on the remake of this game. Now, two things. First of all, I do believe a remake will happen, but I also think that remake is far away. I think Capcom's cooking up some other stuff, and that remake may be 2028, 2029, around that range. Also, I think it's worthwhile to play the Resident Evil games, the originals, even if the remake comes out or prior to the remake comes out, and I think that's the case with remakes in general. Like, I plan on doing an entire playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 3 before Delta Snake Eater comes out, just so I can appreciate the remake more. I feel like it gives you an added level of appreciation. Nevertheless, $4.99 for RE5, it's a very good game, and I would strongly recommend it. Think it's a great price, so definitely check that out. Dishonored Definitive Edition is 75% off for $4.99. If you guys know me, you know that I love Dishonored. I played this game way back in 2012 when it came out and loved it back then. And honestly, saying that out loud, it is wild that it's been 13 years since Dishonored originally came out. But Arcane Studios did a masterful job with this game. The attention to detail, the complex gameplay design, which offers the player so much choice in terms of how to tackle situations. I just think it's an incredibly well-designed game. The visual style has aged fairly gracefully, and it's a great game all around. Not super lengthy, but the Definitive Edition includes the DLC, which is pretty decent as well, and for $4.99, definitely a good pickup there. Next up, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is $3.99. Y'all know me, I love me my Tomb Raider game since the 2013 reboot, or I should say, origin story, whatever you want to call it. Tomb Raider is just fantastic, and the first one is fairly short. You can probably complete it around, 8, 9, 10 hours, around that range. There are some optional tombs and things of that sort, but for $3.99, it's a great game, and sometimes you just want a game you can play over the course of a weekend, beat it, and move on, and that's exactly what Tomb Raider Definitive Edition is. It's great, and for $3.99, absolutely worth a pickup. Love this game, and hopefully we'll get the next Tomb Raider title here in the very near future. I would imagine 2026, but we'll see how that turns out. Next up, we have Contra Anniversary Collection, 80% off for $3.99. The Contra Anniversary Collection brings the classic run-and-gun franchise back to modern platforms and a new generation of players. Grab power-ups and blast your way through waves of menacing enemies and bosses that'll put your reaction skills to the test. Also included is a digital bonus book with tons of concept documents and sketches, the official chronology of the franchise, an exclusive interview with the veteran producer of the series, and more. Alone or with a friend, Contra provides hours of nail-biting action in a pinch. Make sure you follow the code. You've got quite a lot of games: Contra, Super Contra, Contra Super C, Contra 3, The Alien Wars, Operation C, Contra Hardcore, Super Protector, Alien Rebels, and Probotector as well, all available in the Anniversary Collection for $3.99. Pretty solid deal if you're into your run-and-gun games. Next up, Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise, 75% off for $4.99. The forgotten RGG game. RGG, the studio that did the Yakuza titles and Fist of the North Star. While the anime itself is a little before my time, even I am aware of the Omaiwa Mo Shindaru, that little meme that went around. I guess not much around these days, but it was huge for a minute. And yeah, if you want to check out a Fist of the North Star video game or just a quality action beat 'em up, you're going to find that with Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. You know, it's kind of interesting because the RGG games, they've been ported to all of these different platforms and they're available everywhere. Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise still exists as a PlayStation 4 exclusive, only available on the PS4, obviously playable on the PS5, but yeah, I find that rather interesting. Worthwhile game, even if you're not a Fist of the North Star fan, you'll probably have a good time with it if you do enjoy that Yakuza style of gameplay and beat 'em up action. Pretty worthwhile game to go through there. Next up, we have the Shenmue I and II collection, 85% off for $449. Shenmue is one of the most iconic video games of all time. I remember there was a minute where I was getting more into retro gaming, and at that point, you know, the Dreamcast was a platform that I never checked out, and Shenmue was one of those games that made me want to get a Dreamcast. Ultimately, Shenmue was one of those games that it was amazing at the time of its release, and I can totally see why. It's a technical achievement for when it came out. However, it absolutely shows its age. A lot of those elements that make a game groundbreaking from a technical standpoint, those are the elements to also age the quickest, in the sense that, you know, eventually games are going to catch up and even surpass that, and then that element of the game making it stand out so much is completely gone. And for a newer audience, is it worthwhile to go back? But Shenmue also tells a great narrative. It's a worthwhile game, and I still think it's an enjoyable experience the whole way through. Absolutely is incredibly dated, especially from a mechanics standpoint, but for $449 for both Shenmue 1 and 2, I do think it's a good pickup. You know, unfortunate on what happened with Shenmue 3, and as a IP, I don't think Shenmue's, you know, ever gonna see another title, but it is what it is, and $449 for Shenmue 1 and 2, not a bad deal. And you know what? Shenmue is a game, a ground-up remake of Shenmue 1, I don't know, I think that could do some business. I think that could be something that is worthwhile, but I don't know if Shenmue's got that level of legs and if it would interest people, but nonetheless, I think it would be pretty cool if Sega did a ground-up remake of that. Next up, we got The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, very much a narrative-driven walking sim-style game where it's more about taking in the atmosphere and the tone of the game, but I think those elements are really, really well done, and they knock it out of the park from that standpoint. It's a worthwhile game to go through, not super lengthy, so if you just want to sit down and get immersed into a game, Vanishing of Ethan Carter, I think will do a fairly good job, and for $399, not a bad pickup there. Next up, Hotline Miami Collection, $499 for the base price, $399 if you are a Plus subscriber, you'll save an additional 5%. Excellent deal for Hotline Miami. You get both titles here, Hotline Miami 1 and Hotline Miami 2, wrong number. Just great pickups as far as throwback retro action titles. Fairly gruesome, but it's pixel graphics, so is it really that gruesome? I don't know, you be the judge of that, but over-the-top action-heavy gameplay and a lot of fun to be had with Hotline Miami Collection. Next up, we have Narita Boy, 80% off for $499. Flashback to the 80s, the creator, a genius of his time, creates a video game console called the Narita One, with its flagship title being a game called Narita Boy. Obviously, you know, a little tongue-in-cheek, and you become symphonic in Narita Boy, a radical action adventure as a legendary pixel hero trapped as a mere echo within the digital kingdom. Discover the mysteries behind the techno sword lock swords with the corrupt and tainted stallions and save the world throughout. Great visual style, pixel perfectionist, the shining example of a perfectionist at work. Experience the visuals of a retro era brought to life with hand-drawn animations as well. A slick action title here with a great visual style, and Narita Boy is available for $499. Next up, we have Postal Redux at 50% off for $499, and if you're a Plus subscriber, you'll save an additional 5% off, and it'll be $449. Postal Redux is a high-definition remake of the Postal Dude's infamous first foray into the world. Prepare to experience his psychological journey with faithfully recreated high-resolution visuals, remastered music, sounds, and dialogues, and revamped and modernized gameplay all throughout as well. Crazed gunmen out for your blood await you around every corner. The only choice is clear: get them before they get you. Fight back with a devastating arsenal as you make your way through a violence-stricken town. A lot of updates with this Redux edition as well, and that's available at $499. Next up, we have Wall World. This is a game that I dug up and I thought it looked pretty cool. $499 for the base price, $399 if you're a Plus subscriber. explore the mysterious wall world on your giant robo-spider, mine for valuable resources, upgrade your equipment to fight off hordes of monsters, and discover exotic biomes in between attacks. Will you be able to survive and learn the secrets of the wall world? Mine burrow deep into the wall in different places, fight, shoot, and hack at the nightmarish creatures with a variety of weapons, upgrade, modernize your exosuit with resources and technologies you find to move faster in mines, and break through ever harder rocks, upgrade your robo-spider's combat stats as well, and build automatic turrets throughout. On top of that, Wall World is available for $4.99. Next up, we have the Silver Case. I don't want to say an iconic game, but it comes from an iconic studio and individual. Suda51, for the first time ever, dive into the HD remastered PS4 version of Suda51's classic visual novel. Experience the Silver Case the way it was meant to be played by immersing yourself in the intricate story and uncovering the truth piece by piece. Suda51 is considered one of the, I don't want to say wackiest, but one of the most interesting developers, Grasshopper in general. They've created and crafted some incredibly interesting games. This is one that has a very big emphasis on its narrative. The city has been plagued by a string of serial murders. The detectives of the 24 Wards Heinous Crimes Unit, they have their sights set on one particular suspect, a legendary serial killer and perpetrator of a number of assassinations of government officials. A lot of twists and turns, and a narrative-driven title here, $3.99 for the Silver Case. Next up, we have the last case of Benedict Fox Definitive Edition. This got a little bit of a mixed reception, but you've got reimagined combat and traversal that is both intense and exhilarating. Descend into a limbo of decaying memories as Benedict Fox, a self-proclaimed detective bound to his demon companion. Use that unholy bond to explore the minds of the recently deceased in search of clues as you uncover the mysteries of a massive, decrepit mansion as well. The last case of Benedict Fox Definitive Edition is available for $4.99. If you're a Plus subscriber, it's only $2.49, which is an excellent deal. And lastly, we have West of Dead. From a visual standpoint, I feel like West of Dead is incredibly captivating. What I played of it, I did enjoy. A little bit rough around the edges for sure, but again, from a visual standpoint, I think it just looks so good on that end. And if you like the visuals and you want a pretty simple action game to go into, I think you'll find that here. Descend into the grim and gritty world of the Purgatory in this cover-based shooter which combines the fluidity of twin-stick controls and tactical cover usage. Dodge behind cover as you try to outgun your enemies in the unknown, procedurally generated hunting grounds as well. It was received decently well, not an amazing reception, but decently well. And you'll have some Western aesthetics to an extent, but yeah, definitely a cool visual aesthetic and style to the game, if nothing else. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $5, and all of these are available in the description box below. I should say the links to all of these. Check them out for yourself. That'll do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.